Hi yogis, welcome to Move with Anna. Thanks for joining me today. So we're gonna do kind of a fun little flow. I'm calling it a heart opening flow because we're gonna take a lot of these kind of movements that open the chest up. So if you have two blocks, grab them, great. If you don't have them, they're not required. It's just sort of a nice way to start class out. If you don't have the blocks, it's fine. Just come down onto your back and follow along. If you do have the blocks, I want you to set one up lengthwise here and then one on a little bit of a higher setting. So we're gonna keep this long block right on our back, kind of between the scapula, and then the back of your head will rest on the block that's kind of upright. So options with the legs, the knees can knock in here. You can take Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet sealed together. You can leave hands here. I like to let my arms really stretch out for this, and then just close the eyes and breathe. We're gonna take 5 full rounds of breath here in this heart opening posture. Good, so inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And 2 more breaths. Good, my friends, and then gently go ahead and remove the blocks from underneath you. And that's also like a nice little thing to do if you just feel like you need some heart opening, but you don't have time to do a full yoga sequence. You can always just lay there on the blocks like that. That's one of my kind of favorite things to do. I want you to roll over onto your belly here and go ahead and place the forearms and the palms on the ground and traction your hands back towards you on the mat. Inhale and just stretch the chest forward. Feel the collarbone spread wide. Stay for a breath in and out. And then lower yourself onto your belly. I want you to send the right arm out, straight out on your mat, and then press over onto that right side. And you can tent these fingertips. You can bring the hand around behind you for a little bit of a half bind. Good, wherever you are, or if you have really, really open shoulders, maybe you can clasp your hands behind you there. Good, nice shoulder opening stretch here. So go ahead and stay for another breath in and out. And then roll back onto your belly, and then you'll kind of get the view behind my back this time. Go ahead and stretch the left arm out and roll over onto that left side. Again, you can leave these fingertips tented here. You can come around for a half bind. Just take whatever variation you did on the first side. And staying with it for a few breaths in and out. Good, breath in and out. And then roll yourself back onto your belly here and start to pick yourself up all the way back to a child's pose on the knees there. As you press forward, inhale, press yourself forward. You can bend the knees and come forward, just sort of a sloppy version of our up dog. And then rounding through the spine all the way back to child's pose. Again, come forward, press yourself forward, send it through. And come back. Good, and then I want you to press yourself all the way up into a downward facing dog. Good, big breath in and out. Gaze forward between the palms and then take tiny little steps up to the top here. Toe heel the feet out nice and wide and take a clasp behind your back. And it's a bound ragdoll pose here. So with some chest expansion, keep a bend in the knees for now and just let the head and neck dangle, let it go. You can shake the head yes and no. Take some rolls here with the neck. Maybe open and close the jaw a few times. Release any tension you feel there. Good, another full breath here in that chest expansion. If this causes any joint pain in the elbows, You can bend the knees or just release that bind. Never want shooting pains, of course. Go ahead and release the hands. Toe heel the feet to touch. I want you to roll all the way up. Come up to standing. Good. Bring the hands to your heart and take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, just release a little heat there. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, this time I want you to drop the arms and then inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Good, again, inhale, arms come straight up. Exhale, this time take a little back bend. You can cactus your arms if you like. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, bring it down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to your high plank. Good, lower down, just halfway down, top to middle of a push-up. Your inhale is your upward facing dog. Shoot chest forward. Good, and then downward facing dog. So friends, for that, the modification as you're lowering down, you can always drop down onto your knees as you lower halfway down and then press yourself up. Good, and back to downward facing dog. Just knowing that that's an option. You can always skip straight to downward dog as well. Inhale, gaze forward. Inhale, rolling all the way up, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. A good inhale, arms up. Exhale, take a back bend. Inhale, mountain pose. And exhale, bring it down, forward fold. Just a nice breath warm up here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, wash it out. Good, so bring it down. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, come to your downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. Good, on the inhale, sweep the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step the foot through between the hands. Step that back foot in, the left foot in slightly and seal it down to the mat. And then grab the blocks. If you're using them, you can frame your front foot with your hands here. Breath in as you expand and exhale, fold a little deeper into your pyramid here. Breath in for spine lengthening and exhale, sink. One more breath here, please. In and out. Good, you can move the blocks and then come all the way up to standing, bend through the knee. You're in warrior one here. And then drop the arms behind you. Take a nice big chest expansion as you seal palms together and then fold down, dip down to the inner right thigh and let the head and neck dangle here. So you can get the arms up high or you can keep them wherever you are, just feeling that chest expansion, how it feels good. Awesome. Stay for another full round of breath in and out. Release the palms to frame the foot. Straighten through that front leg again and inhale, send the right arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Keep it here and open. Replace the right hand back down to the mat. Zip your right leg back to meet your left. Good. Inhale, hinge forward, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, come back to a child's pose. Big breath in and out. From here, I want you to crawl forward and come into your puppy pose. So for puppy pose, the hips stay right over the knees, the hands crawl forward, and your forehead can stay there on the mat. If you have blocks and you'd like to use them underneath your hands, that might intensify the stretch even more. So we're opening that space kind of right underneath our armpits. This is a really nice shoulder opening stretch here. Stay for your breath in and out. Good, and then gently come back up. Return yourself to your downward facing dog and recapture that Ujjayi breath in and out the nose. Big breath in, big breath out. On the inhale, the left leg comes to the sky. On the exhale, the foot steps forward. Good, and then seal the right foot back down onto the mat. Get your blocks if you're using them. Good, come up and sink. So kind of this modified pyramid with your blocks, using the inhale to lengthen through the spine and the exhale to fold just a little bit deeper. Good, again, in and out. And then remove the blocks. Coming all the way up, bend into the front knee. You're now in your warrior one stance. Good, hips are squared towards the front of the mat. Arms come high, and then release hands behind your back. Maybe taking the opposite clasp this time, so it feels a little awkward behind you. Good, and reach up with the chest, head, and fold down. Get into your humble warrior here. Good, and just let it go. Couple of breaths here, really let the head and neck dangle down. Feel that beautiful chest expansion. And then go ahead and release the hands, frame the foot, straighten through the front knee. On your inhale, open up, take the left arm to the sky. Good, and take that twist here. Another breath in and out as you twist open. Good, and then come back down, frame the foot with the hand, zip the leg back. Good, coming into your high plank. And then wash it out, take a vinyasa, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, I want you to come down onto your forearms for a dolphin pose. So you can come up off of the heels or try and keep them flush to the ground if you like. Wherever you are, you're gonna stay here on the forearms and just breathe here through the dolphin pose. Good. And keep that Ujjayi breath going in and out the nose. Good, couple more breaths in and out. Really nice strength building pose, shoulder opening. Send the heart back towards the thighs. Another full breath in and out. Release down, take a child's pose. Full breath in and out. Beautiful, you guys. Come back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Straighten the leg back out, square the hip off, and send the right leg over to the left side of the mat. Inhaling to sweep the left arm high. Good, and then set it back down on the mat. The right leg sweeps back to the sky. The exhale steps the foot through right between the hands. Inhale, rise up, find your high lunge. Good, sinking down here, arms reach up. And exhale, back bend. You can drop a little bit. You can take an open mouth exhale. Again, arms up. And good, two more. Good, one more on this side, arms up. And exhale, back bend. Arms to the sky, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Open up nice and wide in your warrior. Seal the back foot down. Get your front knee right over the front ankle. Gentle gaze over the front fingertips. Breath in, breath out. Good, stay with me, yogis. Inhale, and then exhale. Drop the arm down. Here's where I want you to take an option that feels good on your body. So we're either gonna take just a half bind with this top arm behind our back. If that full bind is accessible to you without totally collapsing, take that option. Good, trying to keep a little space there between your torso and your thigh. And breathe here. Good, really nice hip opening, heart opening movements here. Good, breath in and out. Good, go ahead and release the bind. Frame the foot with the hands. Zip the leg back. Optional Ekapada Chaturanga with one leg lifted. Breath in for upward facing dog. And breath out for downward facing dog. Beautiful, my friends. Let's move on to our left side. So I want you to sweep the left leg up with an inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Again, straighten that leg, square off the hips, and send the left foot over to the right side of the mat. Inhale, right arm comes to the sky. Good, big breath in. And then exhale, bring it back down. That leg will come up to the sky again. Inhale, exhale, step the foot through, take your low lunge. On the inhale, come all the way up, high lunge. Breath in and then sink. Good, open mouth exhales are great here. Up and down. Good, 2 more on this side, up and down. 1 more. Good, yogis. Inhale, arms come high. Exhale, warrior 2, sink down, open up. So front knee over the ankle. Give yourself a moment here to set up and breathe. Gaze over the fingertips. Sink down here. Really open the chest, open the heart. Breath in and breath out. Good, stay for an inhale and then start to come into your side angle here. Again, options. So if you took the half bind on the first side with this top arm behind you, stay there. If you did take that full bind option, go ahead and come into that. Breathing here. Just a couple of breaths. Awesome, yogis. Stay with it, whatever variation you're in. These binds are really powerful. They're good for detoxing, good for opening the shoulders, opening the hips. Good, and then go ahead and release. Frame the foot with the hands. Zip the left leg back in the air. Optional here, Ekapada Chaturanga with one leg lifted. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, my friends, come down onto your knees now. I want to take just a couple of hip openers here before we get into some heart opening back bends to close class out for our heart opening sequence. So half pigeon is kind of my favorite hip opening posture. So if you want to take your half pigeon, go ahead and sweep the right leg up and then forward onto the mat. So the shin may be parallel, it may not, that's fine. And then you'll lift the chest. You can stay upright for this hip opener or start to sink down, melt down onto your mat, coming forward and just releasing down to the earth. Good, we all need lots of hip openers with all the sitting we do, anything like hiking, biking, running, a lot of those motions that shorten those hip flexors. This is so good for us and release a lot of that in our outer hip here. Good, and then coming up, release the leg back, maybe pedal it out. And then I want you to send that same leg forward, coming down onto the back knee. Inhale, come up. Good, so this is our really like big hip flexor release, sinking down. And then arms come up to the sky and take a back bend. You can take cactus arms if you like. Good, inhale, reach it up. Exhale, plant the hands, come back to your downward facing dog. Good, time to get our other side. So left leg comes up and then forward. Good, and sweep it back there. And if you stayed upright on the other side, stay up here. Otherwise, you're gonna start to melt forward into this lovely hip opening posture. So just let the head and neck come down, relax here on your front of your mat. And just feel that lovely hip opening on the outer hip. Yeah, just counteracting all of that standing, sitting, all those things we put our hips through all the time, every day. Good, and then coming back up. Highly recommend holding those, like pause the camera if you can, pause your film and just hold those as long as you have time for, so good. I want you to send that same leg forward, so left leg forward. Tap the back knee down, inhale, come up. Good, and then take your back bend option on this side. Good, really feeling that in the hip flexor. Good, arms come back up. Plant the hands down, and then come back to your downward facing dog. Little pedal out, and then release yourself down onto the knees here. So I wanna come into a camel pose. Camel, you wanna keep the hips over the knees for this posture. So whatever kind of variation you go into, you'll wanna keep that in mind. A good trick is to come up onto the toes so your heels are lifted a little higher if reaching for your heels is something you want. I like to start this out with the hands behind the back for support here, and then reaching the head up, opening the throat chakra here, opening the heart, and then stay here. Or if you like to reach for your heels, start to do that. If you don't need your heels up and you want to bring your feet down flat on the earth, that's fine. And just take a couple breaths here. And then as you exit camel, you want to do so nice and slowly, bringing the hands to the lower back for support, and then come down onto a seat on your feet here. Keeping the hands grounded down into the thighs. Deep breath in and out. Good, again, in and out. Beautiful, yogis. Grab a block if you have it. For this next little portion, we're just gonna close out here with a few back bends. And you have options. So what I'm going to suggest is a bridge and a wheel, but you can take kind of whatever variation of that you like, depending on what's going on in your lower back. If you have a block and you want to take a supported bridge this whole time, this is also another beautiful option to stick that underneath your sacrum and just relax there on the block. So know that that's an option. But if you're taking just a traditional bridge, plant the hands, start to press the hips up, leaving this space here between your chin and your chest. So sending the chest back towards the chin as you send the chin away. Optional chest expansion here for a little more heart opening. And breathe. Good. As we release out of bridge, we're going to do so nice and slowly. We want to come down one vertebrae at a time. Good, and just release the spine down onto the mat. Good, yogis. From here, what I'd like you to do is either take, depending on what's going on in your lower spine, so if wheel is not in your practice or you're just not feeling it today, take another bridge pose or a supported bridge with the block. It'll feel fantastic. If you're ready for wheel, you want to start to plant the hands by the ears. You got to root the feet down into the earth and then press yourself up. So really pressing into the palms. You can come up onto these toes and press the heart space back. Good. So you're really taking this, is it a heart opener? You want to feel this in your upper thoracic spine, not so much in the low back, so careful there. And breathe, energetically pressing the thighs together in space. Press heart back. Good, stay with it. And then again, you'll lower down here one vertebrae at a time. Just kind of releasing the spine nice and gently there. Good, so for counter posture, you can let the knees fall out wide. You can bring them together, just sort of nourishing the low back here. Maybe it's a windshield wiper of the knees back and forth. Kind of whatever is feeling good for you. Awesome, my friends. If you want to take a nice counter posture for this, a lot of people really love to come up into a little bit of a shoulder stand here, or maybe you bring the legs behind you for a plow. Knees maybe come behind your, or by your ears for deaf man's pose. Just an option. All kind of nice counter postures to open up that space after wheel. Totally up to you. Good, back on the back. And then I want to close out here with just some simple twists. So pulling right knee in, big squeeze, and twist it out. Back to center. right leg down to the earth, and then pull the left knee in. Big hug, big squeeze, and then jump, simple twist there. Beautiful, my friends. And then go ahead and take a few breaths on your back, either in your Supta Baddha Konasana with the knees out wide, one hand to heart, one to the belly, or take a Savasana, or you're welcome to take more of that heart opening with the blocks underneath you, like we did at the beginning of class. And just take 2 full rounds of breath here. Good, one more. And then gently rolling over onto your side in the fetal position. Pick yourself back up. Comfortable seat, hands come to heart center. It's so beautiful to have a little heart opening with you guys today. Namaste.